Good morning, everybody. This is Erica with Woman Money Power. Today, I want to talk about something that nobody likes to talk about. That's the CPS factor. So when you are in an abusive relationship, when there's physical violence in your home, if you're married, if it's a boyfriend or a significant other, doesn't even have to be a long-term boyfriend, just whoever. There's domestic violence in the home and you have kids, it becomes more than just about you. Your kids are exposed to this domestic violence, even if they're very small, they're teens, whatever. They're there, they're witnessing it, they're living it, they're traumatized, and they are at risk. So again, it becomes more than about you because it also directly impacts your kids. And CPS is not anything anybody likes to think about, but they are there to protect children, Child Protective Services, the long version. They're there. And if there's a police report made, or if somebody makes a report of domestic violence, you may see CPS come show up at your door, because they are they're not interested in, how the dynamics of your relationship. They want to make sure that your kids are protected, and they will do whatever it takes legally to protect your children. So if you're dealing with a domestic violence situation, there's physical harm, if there's threats, if there's anything that could potentially put a child at risk, you can bank on the possibility of CPS becoming involved. It is scary as hell if that is something that happens to you. But I will say they're there for a reason. And sometimes having somebody else at a government level become involved because we can't see what's right in front of us is in the best interest of the children. So if CPS does become involved, they are most likely going to help you create a safety plan, which is going to be contingent on, getting and keeping the violent person out of your home. You are not going to be able to let them back in, because if you do, your children could literally be taken away and put in foster care, or put in the care of a relative. They will typically, in most circumstances, unless there's something else going on, there's a big chance that they're just going to intervene, have you take some classes, help you create a safety plan to be able to do it on your own without having that other person in the home who is a danger to yourself and specifically your children, because that's what they are more concerned about. If there's an order of protection, you need to adhere to that order of protection. And again, it's not just for your own benefit, it's for the benefit and the safety of your children. If there's a safety plan created, you need to stick to that safety plan. If you let the perpetrator back in the house, there is a big chance that if CPS gets wind of this, they will come in and they will take your children and put them in foster care. There have been children that have been adopted from the system because just because of domestic violence, because their parent in the home was not willing to keep them safe and out of the way of violence. So I know it's really scary, but for some people it's just a major wake-up call. It really, really is. It is worth it. Even if you have to take your kids and get into a shelter or go stay with a relative or just struggle like hell to make ends meet, it is better than having CPS involvement. You need to get the abuser out of your home at all costs, and keep them out of the home, and do whatever it is to keep yourself safe. As a parent, primarily as a mom, I'm guessing you're probably a mom if you're watching this channel, a woman. You need to do whatever you can to keep your children safe. It is not always pretty. It's not always pleasant. Sometimes it means going into a shelter, struggling, going through the court system, doing whatever we have to. But it is important. You are the person who is going to be keeping this person safe. It's your job to keep these kids safe. And these kids being around violence, it becomes a cycle. So if your children witness violence, it might be that this becomes their norm. They could grow up, if they could grow up and expect this to be the norm in a relationship. So your daughters may end up thinking that it's normal to be with someone who's abusive. Your sons may end up being the ones that are abusive, or vice versa. You know, it doesn't, certainly isn't gender discriminatory. Sometimes it goes both ways. But your kids don't need to see that this is the norm. So the psychological impact, it causes a bunch of stress, it causes bad behavior, it affects their performance in school, creates anxiety, all kinds of stuff. It's just not good from a psychological perspective. And further than that, you are literally putting them in harm's way. Why do you think, or it is not reasonable to expect that the abuser would stop at you, because sometimes they don't. If you keep someone who is abusive in your household, then you are also putting your children at risk, because sometimes it goes to the children too. It is so. As far as Child Protective Services, CPS, potentially get involved, they know they're not liked. Nobody likes CPS, but they are there to protect children, and sometimes it is necessary. They're not there to be mean. They are there to keep your kids safe when you cannot do so. So I encourage you to get the hell out of the home, or get your abuser out of the home, keep them out of the home, whatever it takes to keep your kids safe. Because if you are not able to do that, the government through CPS will potentially swoop in and force you to do it, and sometimes do it in a way that you have no control over. And I think that would be the worst feeling ever. So that is my input for the day. I hope you liked this video. Follow my channel. I plan to be adding more content soon, and stay safe out there.